In this video, we're going to look at the end of financial procedure in REI Master. This allows you to provide financial year summaries to your owners via email and/or print, and is completed using a wizard. It allows you to automatically archive your database for Access databases only. SQL databases do not need archiving. Importantly, you are providing a financial year summary as a courtesy to your owners. They and/or their accountant should be using their end-of-month statements for tax purposes. We're going to assume that you have completed your end of month for the June period and you've reached this point in the steps there. As part of the next step that will occur when you click OK is the ability then to complete an end of financial year process. So as we can see here, when you complete your end of financial year process, it allows you to create a copy of your data before you commence the steps. It allows you to retain any transactions in the prior financial year for reporting purposes, and of course part of the steps will allow you to produce financial year statements or summaries for your owners. We click OK to the step there. And you can see now we are presented with a step-by-step wizard to go through, and we cannot proceed without completing a backup in step 1. I click on the backup option here, and I want to save my backup here prior to the financial year steps going through to a directory that I'm clearly going to identify as my end of financial year 1. So I'm going to create a new folder in a location I wish to save to, and I'm going to call this one end of financial year 2012-2013. So I'm going to save my backup into that location there. And when I click OK after completing the backup, I can now proceed with the next steps. So step 2 is allowing you to print the necessary summaries or email the summaries through to your owners. Print second copies if you wish to keep copies for yourself on record in the office, and obviously email the statements as necessary. And then allow you to go through and complete the year-end process by clicking on the Perform Year-End button here. It'll ask you to confirm that you've finished printing and emailing the financial year summaries, including any copies, and allow you to continue on. Again, it'll prompt you one last time to ensure that you want to perform the end of financial year process. You'll see then that the steps have been completed and the end of year processing has been completed. We'll have a look at one of the summaries now for our owners. Under the Owners tab here, we'll look at one for Mr. Jones. Under the Report options, we're looking at a financial year summary. Particularly in here, you can see that it's looking at the new financial year or current financial year as it displays. We want to look at the previous financial year, so we take the tick out of the box and we can see then July to 2012, June 2013. We'll just print a copy of that report. You can see here then we have got some information showing for our owner. If I pull this down here, you can have a look then at the individual properties that this owner owns and the income and expenses that apply to him. We can see we've got our admin fees, garden landscaping, etc. showing under here. One thing that is a common call in support is how do I adjust information on here to be correct. As an example here, the sundry expenses that shows I know should be electrical maintenance and should then obviously appear under the repairs and maintenance expense code there. We can adjust these, and there's a way of doing so in the system. If we close out of here, if you go to the process drop-down list, you have the option here to reallocate expenses. We can do this for owner, suppliers and business. We're going to do one for the owner, of course. We select our owner, Mr. Jones. We can then look at the current month period. Of course, what we're looking for is the one where that was applied, and I know it was in June. It's also important, of course, that we tick last year because the database is now showing for the current financial year or new financial year that has just started. Our other options, of course, is to use some sorting or filtering options here, and also to be able to select the account code if we wish to do so. You can see if I select the sundry option, it'll list all sundry account codes for that June period. I'm just going to return this to the select all option, and what we want to do with this one here, as I say, with the charge that's been put through or the transaction line that's showing here for the owner, clearly listed as electrical maintenance, and sundries, of course, is not the correct account code. What I can do with this, if I double click on here, is I can change the information that shows on here for the account code only. If I adjust it to show as repairs and maintenance there, I can save on that. One thing is that you cannot change any information when it comes to the cost, of course, because that does form part of your audit trail. I save on that there now. It asks me to confirm that I want to change the account codes from sundry to repairs and maintenance, and we say yes, and we now have that account code appearing correctly in there. If I go now to have a look at the summary again for the end of financial year for that owner, again, remember to take the tick out of current financial year. You're looking at the past one that's just gone. And that report there now clearly has the repairs and maintenance account code and a proper total there. So you're now providing a correct financial year summary for your owners. So in this video, we've looked at the end of financial year procedure. We've also looked at how we can reallocate expenses on those summaries that you provide to your owners.